Phonetics transcription. On possible design principles, first ask the question, can we use the writing systems of the world's languages, and then we'll focus on specific phonetic notation system in looking at the writing systems around the first question you might ask here. If we focus on the alphabet of language to be transcribed in order to describe its sound system well, by looking at the writing systems of the word languages, we can easily see that this is not a suitable option. For example, there are languages that have no writing system at all. Around 85% of languages in the world, it doesn't have a writing system. How do we describe the sound structure of the language? Okay, so let's look at an example here of a language in the Chongo. The language used in Nigeria, the language is called Oko, and it doesn't have a writing system at all. For academic purposes, the Roman alphabet is used in cases like that, but the pronunciation is often unclear. Bonin, you're a rover Ryan. When the woman sees a man, or bonanin, yes, you can. What I carried in applying the alphabet system here, but if we look at the phonetics or bourbon and move around, you see completely different vowels qualities. So alphabetical notation for a language without a writing system is simply not suitable. These symbols or these notations, we have something that hasn't been developed yet that looks like a chemical formula, and it's been discussed as well, but you see this transcription system is relatively useless compared to our alphabet notation, which actually comes from Henry Sweet. And the narrow rhomic system, now as you can see, rhomic broad was introduced to indicate only differences in sound that actually correspond to differences in meaning in language. So it was some of the precursors of what we now call phonemic transcription, and an early realization of phonemic principles, and narrow-rhomic was intended as a more scientific notation aimed at identifying slight differences in the articulation that you see. Okay, so for the phonetic transcription too, the International Phonetic Alphabet can be defined or can be subdivided into the following components. We have consonants. A set of consonants, we have a set of vowels, and we have diacritics legs. So let's look at them. You see the consonant system as provided by the International Phonetic Association. They are grouped according to the place and manner of articulation, as well as the state of the glottis, which means that whether they are voiced or not. For example, is the voiceless retroflex fricative, retro-leg, and the symbols are on the graph. Besides these full-monic consonants, we also have non-full-monic consonants and a set of symbols, additional symbols, which mean, for example, this is what is not a click consonant produced with lyrics V, a flow vowel system provided by the International Phonetic Association is defined through a reference system called the primary vowel chart. The main primary vowels, for example, you are and if you swap the rounding of the lips criteria, you get the secondary system. Okay, so these 16 symbols usually come with a central or centered vowel. For example, the most famous is the central vowel. We have diacritics. Diacritics are additional elements that determine the phonetic details that can be associated with each symbol of certain sounds. So, for example, we have the superscript diacritic H, which defines plosives as aspiration. Now, with this system, we can define the sound system of the languages of the word. For example, we can write something like, okay, let's identify something. So, this is a word that doesn't come in says yes. This is what the word should be, and now we know how to pronounce it. Okay, so the actual part, the egg part, is completed from the consonants of the phonetic alphabet. These are the vowels and diacritics. Each language can now select the subset of symbols that are required. For example, in today's English, we have in RP, we have 44 phonemes, namely 20 vowels and 24 consonants, and many more are allophones, but how can we represent the sound system well enough?